only have one half of the washing machine, you don't have to have a number. You just introduce the next washing.
I got next. I'm Barry G. Washington. Born and raised in Hopkins County. Out east of the counties where I spent most of my time running and playing and having a lot of fun on the weekends. Went to high school here, played high school football here, ran collegiate track because of Sulphur Springs. My family's here, and now my family's back here, my church is here. I go to the First Baptist Church and all the other churches in the county and the surrounding area. And I thank people in the area, in the 4-county area, for inviting me to church. Went to John Brown University in Siloam Springs, Arkansas, a little small Christian college. And I believe everybody should experience at least a Christian education. And I can't force that on people, but I know this. With all that's ever happened in my life, that's where I went back, and that's what I have to depend on. That's my table back there. If you guys get a chance, go back and take a peek at that table. I had a very, very successful law enforcement career. And the reason why I had it is because I sought that education, and I think the college education prepared me for that. I went on and I taught school for a couple of years. I ended up at McKinney High School. It was the first year there. We won the state championship in football. Children is my biggest interest, guys. Love kids because they energize me. And I use, I guess, 2 letters to describe what I would love to do in Hopkins County. And they just happen to be SS. And that set the standard. If you go back there and take a look, we set a standard. The state police set a standard that everybody else, all you got to do is just go out there and try to beat that standard. And I guarantee you're going to reach and you're going to find a goal. Court testimony, probably you can put all the folks in jail that you want to put in jail. And but if you're not putting folks in federal prisons where they stay there for 25 years, you just kind of doing some things. The most important thing is education in law enforcement. Being able to testify in a courthouse and put 30 to 40 people in jail, and not just in Hopkins County. These folks are trafficking narcotics right up past you every day. And if you tell me, if you close your eyes and say, I'm not fooling with that, because that belongs to somebody else, and I'm telling you, you're wrong. I'm telling you, absolutely wrong. And so we're going to set a standard that the rest of the folks around us will have to live by. And Warren said something that's very interesting to me, and I've heard this also. Who in the world is going to go fire folks from their jobs in this day and time? I'm not firing anybody at the sheriff's office. Matter of fact, I think it could possibly be a law violation if I walk in and say, hey, you're gone, you're gone, you're gone, you're gone. All we want to do is come in with our programs, set the standard for everybody else to live by. Hopkins County has 2 of the best judges in the country, 3 with the civil court here, and that's what I call civil court. I've been around judges on the federal level. I've been around judges in state courts from South Carolina back to Texas, and I can tell you that we can go out there and work all day long, guys. But if we don't set a standard that's higher than everybody else's and get in these courtrooms and put these bad guys away, and I'll tell you, as a sheriff, I will look at every report that's filed. And the reason why is because I want to make sure everybody has every T crossed, every I dotted, and there's a reason for that. We don't ever want to mistreat anybody. We don't ever want to put the wrong person there. I start to bring four manuals up here. One would be a traffic law enforcement manual. The other would be a general manual with DPS. They're all that thick. And I even had a criminal law enforcement manual that I had to study was that thick. These peace officers here will tell you that the Code of Criminal Procedure is that thick, the penal code is that thick. We call that our Bibles, peace officer Bibles. I start to bring every one of those in here and lay them on the table and say, I studied all of this to get to where I was when I walked out the door that last day and said I'd never go back. But in the process of studying all of that, all the stuff that I've ever listened to, all the negative that I've ever listened to about me and about some of these other peace officers, there was only one book that I found that had the answers in it, because when they gave me those books at the DPS Academy and I walked out the door and I studied all those books, they didn't tell me that somebody was going to bad talk me. They didn't tell me somebody was going to try to mistreat me. They didn't tell me all that stuff. And they didn't tell me that I had to figure out a way to socially fix the social problems between law enforcement and its public. I went and mentored kids. And the reason why I went and mentored kids is because I'm stopping kids every afternoon after school